Joint inspection of services for children and young people at risk of harm in Moray.
All children and young people have the right to feel love, have the care they need to grow and develop and be protected from being harmed.
We wanted to understand how well services are supporting children, young people and their families who need extra help from people including teachers, health visitors, nurses, doctors, family support workers, social workers or others.
We sent out surveys to children and young people and parents and carers. We received 98 from children and young people and 64 from parents and carers. We also sent out a survey to staff and received 404 responses.
We read records belonging to 60 children and young people. We read information about Moray that is available on the internet. We looked at written records and reports that Moray shared with us. We met with staff, managers and senior leaders. Here are some of the things that we found were working well for children and young people in Moray.
When there were concerns about children and young people's safety, staff worked well together to give them the help they needed. Caring and trusting relationships with staff were helping the majority of children and young people.
Where available, specialist services were helping children and young people's lives to get better. Children and young people and parents and carers were involved in decisions about their lives.
Here are some of the things that services in Moray need to do better.
Some children and young people needed key staff to spend a bit more time with them. Young people at risk of harm from themselves or in the community needed more consistent help to make positive changes in their lives. Children and young people needed better access to independent advocacy.
Children and young people needed to be more involved in helping to make services better. The people in charge needed to better understand and use the information they had to help them improve services for children and young people at risk of harm.
Overall, we found that services in Moray were having an adequate impact on children and young people who needed help to stay safe. While services were doing some things well, they had more work to do to make sure that they were always making a positive difference to the lives of children and young people at risk of harm.
Thank you to all the children and young people who spoke to us during our inspection and completed our surveys. Our full inspection report can be found at carinspectorate.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram and X.